The muse is here. The muse is here.
Hello there, love.
Oh, I love it. Ash, I feel like this is a reunion that's been waiting to happen for forever.
I feel the same. I feel the same. It is so fun. I'm so happy. I feel so lucky. Yay. Life is
Oh,
appearing in this way now. The Valerie Love gets to be here. It's just such a joy.
oh my goodness. I love it. And I love you, Ash. You are looking quite spectacular today, too. I'm loving the fedora. I'm loving this whole action. It's a moment.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's be a little floral for the
Let's do
moment.
it.
Yes.
And
And I
let's do a
love
little
this.
face jewels, too.
Ooh, gorgeous. 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 That face
Oh,
deep.
please.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. Don't we love expression, self-expression?
Yes. Thank goodness that we got the memo.
Hello. I love it. So before we get into this delicious discussion, we first must know who Ash Ruiz is. And I've got to give you a from the heart what I know of Ash, leads sacred retreats for ayahuasca in Colorado, a transformational powerhouse on the planet, and one who serves from this huge ball of joy and was in Menudo, the international sensation. I mean, Menudo was like international, like, how did you deal with all those girls? Like, it would be nonstop screaming when Menudo,
Yeah, yeah.
nonstop
I
screaming. It
don't
was
know
like
how I
back
can
to
hear
time.
anything nowadays. It's amazing.
That was your life. And now you are the author of this incredible book, Muse, in the book series we both are honored to be in. I am anchoring the wisdom of the witch, and you are anchoring the wisdom of the muse. So, who is Ash Ruiz?
I so love this. I so love this. It is such a joy that all the phenomena of the experience of Ashru was gets to be here, the effervescence of my life experience of my parents and my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and my months and my years. And truly such an honor and also so sweet to recognize that none of that beauty, none of that amazingness has never encapsulated, the aliveness that's here, the untamed brilliance that's here. And so it really is wonderful that we get to exist as these particulars and exist as this indescribable vastness. And that's what I love to celebrate, love to sing about, love to live about, love to laugh about, cry about, and just be an invitation for anyone interested in exploring the depths of their being. So delighted to be here.
Ooh, delicious. So you're a music maker and you
Yeah,
are a muse,
yeah.
right? So would you say that you are both the muse and the home of the muse, or is there a giving and receiving? How does the muse work with you?
I so love that. Yeah, it's so sweet. It's kind of like in the depth of giving and receiving. They're one and the same. As you give, you receive. As you receive, you're giving. And the same with the muse. It's like in the willingness to be delighted with what's present and the willingness for life to show up in all of its ordinary, mundane effervescence and all of its mind expanding, mind blowing possibilities. Uh, you're also a presence of inspiration for the apparent experience of others.
Hello, hello. So how does the muse work? What is the muse?
I think it's such a gift. It's like this really sweet breadcrumb that the heart gives to itself. It's like, okay, you want to have an experience of this dream of separation. That's all fine and dandy. But I'm going to throw in little pieces here and there that just throw you for a loop. and maybe invite a whole other exploration of who you are and what's here. So I feel like it's like these divine breadcrumbs, like these divine opportunities to wake ourselves up deeper and deeper.
Ah, so what about people who they feel the presence of the muse? Maybe they
Right.
want to write a book or whatever, but we're too busy in our lives because you're a songwriter, you sing, you have all these creative gifts. How are you able to bring it forth? Like we hear it, yet our lives are kind of busy. Like, how do you actually sit down and do it?
Right. Well, I think it's really important that we recognize the value of the muse, the value of the inspiration, the value of the calling, and be willing to show up for it, right? So let's say if I sometimes I'll have a song come through in a dream at night, and I'll just wake up and I have the melody just in my head, and instead of just going right back to sleep, I will sure enough grab my phone and hit voice memo and just record whatever that melody is, and then go back to sleep. And that's a way of honoring these graces in the matrix, as I like to call them, these moments that just transcend our everydayness, our monotony. And so yeah, showing up, being willing to say yes, being willing to allow the body to have its moment. If there's an inspiration of movement, even if it's just a few seconds, being okay, I'm gonna allow this body to
I'm
be
gonna
the
let it.
conduit of this energy.
Wow. So does the muse come to everyone or is it picking and choosing? Like, how does that part
Uh, so
in your
fun.
experience? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's so sweet because for me, the muse can seem like this energy or like this divine fire that misses a couple of things and then ends up here and
Is it
there.
picking and choosing you, but not you?
Right.
Like, yeah,
Right.
what's happening?
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, this heart's really available, or this mind is really available, or this soul has reached a level of maturity, and that could be some element of it. But one thing that I
Mhm.
really love about the muse is that the ingredients of it are what's always present. And so even if we don't feel like we're ready for the muse, or we've matured enough, or we haven't had our chakras aligned in a particular way, or we haven't been born under an auspicious star, it's kind of like in our willingness to surrender to where we are as we are, that is the most fertile ground for the muse to come forth and show up.
I love this because what I'm hearing from this is that I can invite the muse through my cultivation of self and
Yes.
be a welcoming home for the muse intentionally and not just wait like to be picked.
Right, right. How sweet. Yes, totally. Totally, totally. And how sweet that process, what a divine romance with the self. Uh, there's so many fun ways that we can do that and be that.
So now, what would you say to people who are sort of, they got the muse, they wrote it down, they
Right,
captured it. Now the resistance is releasing it into the world. So you
right.
have released so much work into the world. I talked to so many clients. One of my clients had a whole book of poetry in a box under the bed.
Oh,
And I mean divine poetry. The muse came and they
right.
received the muse clearly and they wrote it out and it is perfection and beauty. And now it's locked away in the closet, it's lost on a computer, an old manuscript.
Yes. Such a tendency, right? Such an option. And so sweet that there's the possibility to recognize that, you know, uh, as soon as we start discovering how valuable our lives are, as soon as we
Mm,
discovering how valuable our point of view is, so for example, some of my clients who feel like, well, what I want to say has already been written 1,000 times. What I want to sing about, everyone's sung a song about that already, or and it's like, but no one has done it like you can do it. And that's what's so
mm.
with this whole authentic individual soul print that we get to bring and show up as, is that no one can do the universe like you can do the universe. The way you say it, your flavor, your gumbo of expression, there's nobody with that taste, beloved.
Nobody got that secret sauce but
No one
you.
got that secret sauce, exactly.
Secret sauce, right?
Yes, there's nobody. It's so important. It's so valuable and so nourishing for all of us that you be willing to express yourself and be willing to show up.
Mm. So you were in Menudo, this
Right.
international, incredible band, and now there is a documentary out about Menudo. So how did that unfold?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, well, during the pandemic, the start of the pandemic, Amazon Prime released released a series on the life of Menudo, but they never consulted us. They never
They
asked.
never came to any of the members of Menudo and asked you what was going on. So it
No,
was a completely outside picture. This is what we think it is. So they were conjuring it.
it was all conjured up.
Wow.
They made up
Did
all
they
these
ask you
stories.
permission for
Never
any?
asked us permission. So that was really interesting to see these actors
Very interesting.
portraying us on the screen with all these different experiences and be like, wow, that never happened. That didn't happen like that. That never happened like that either. And where'd y'all get those wigs? Come on, Amazon Prime. I know you got a better budget than
Because
that.
we were cute. I don't know what y'all are doing right now.
Okay.
Okay. Because Menudo was cute. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know
Yeah.
what they would do. And so, after that came out, a couple of producers noticed and figured, oh, wow, these guys probably want to tell their story. So different, I guess, entertainment companies reached out to us. And the one that I really resonated with that had the most beautiful intent was HBO Max. HBO Max, the director, Angel Manuel Soto, he's directed a lot of beautiful things. He's right now the current director of the new Transformers movie. And then the producers, Christopher and Christina and Alex, who did the Walter Mercado documentary. I don't know if you saw that on Netflix.
Pardon me. Pardon me. No, I've never seen that before.
My goodness, Mucho Mucho Amor. I totally recommend it on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Walter was one of our. He was sitting at the table too. He was in his own way. Yes, Puerto Rican mystic, psychic,
Oh my
like
goodness.
Puerto
A
Rican
blue?
Liberace.
Oh, like a Liberace. Oh, come on now.
Yes, he was fierce. He was absolutely fierce.
This makes me happy because my daddy was Puerto Rican, so it makes
Oh,
me
I
happy.
love that. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so you would love this man, Walter Mercado. And
Wow.
so, their intention was to celebrate the legend that was Menudo, but to acknowledge that there's always been a little bit of a dark energy there. And what is
Wow.
dark energy? Why is it such legendary status, but yet there's a weight to it? And I really appreciate that. And so when they came to me and asked me if I'd want to be a part of it, it was an easy yes. And what they created is something masterful, tells the story in such a beautiful way, and also opens the conversation, not just in humanity, but in Latin culture, the conversation on machismo, the conversation on it's like the Me Too movement, and acknowledging the little boys in the entertainment industry and that element, and allow them to have a voice that's been silenced for so long. So it's really insightful, informative, and juicy.
Oh, is it juicy? It has the tidbits in there that we love, the salacious tidbits that we love. It's got that in there.
It most certainly does.
Wow. Usually, if you tell the truth, it's going to have some salacious tidbits because the truth is good enough.
That's right. Yes. So it felt so good. It was so cathartic for like my teenage self, my 16-year-old, 17-year-old. I was just like, oh wow, this feels really beautiful and wholesome and honest and genuine, and so honored to be a part of something like that. Art that celebrates humanity and the spirit of perseverance and surviving and thriving. So yeah, I totally recommend it.
Wow, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. So it's on HBO Max, and what's the name of it?
It's called Menudo Forever Young.
Forever Young.
Mm-hmm.
Menudo Forever Young.
Yeah.
Now, how did you go from Menudo to being this incredible spiritual light, the illusion slicer, right? On Instagram, you're the illusion slicer, baby.
So
Slicing through
fun.
the illusion. Like,
It's the easiest
how did that happen?
So fun. So one thing that's interesting, while I was in Menudo, I had these life experiences that just pushed me into exploring, into questioning. My father was diagnosed with AIDS when I was 12. Um, and then I had this huge prayer for him to get a chance to see me do what I love to do. And so when Menudo came along, it was like an answered prayer because he still was alive and got to watch me travel the world sharing my gifts. And he was so proud. And he passed away when I was 16. After he passed away, I was marinating in all these questions. What's real? What's important? What does it mean to live a human life with a purpose and benefit? And also being a part of the music industry where everything was at our disposal, everything was available to us, and recognizing, oh wow, doesn't matter how much money, doesn't matter how much fame, doesn't matter how much cute little glittery outfits, doesn't matter, how many beautiful vacation spots or that none of that matters. It's like I saw superstars that had everything treating waiters like shit. And I said,
Wow,
I don't, how do I do
that's
something
not
different?
it. Yeah.
Yes, how can I show up differently? There's something that we're missing here, something we're overlooking. And with all those questions in me, we went to film a music video in Machu Picchu. And which
People filmed a music video at Machu Picchu.
we do.
Whose idea was that? Because
Okay.
that's not a usual pick
Right.
for a international rock star band, pop band.
Exactly. And then what's also interesting is that most of our songs were love songs, like puppy love songs and about romance and about
Sweet.
get your lover back and you broke my heart. And but someone, a beloved, a producer, they were the same people that were in the Macarena, Baila tu cuerpo alegría.
Oh, Macarena.
Yeah. The Bayside Boys,
Oh
my
my
beloved
goodness.
friend Carlos. So he wrote this song called Bienvenidos al Nuevo Mundo, which
Oh.
means welcome to the new world. And it was kind of like an up-tempo version of John Lennon's Imagine, in the sense. It was a song about social issues and finding the power within. And it was an unusual song for us to sing. And so the manager felt that Machu Picchu would be the perfect place for us to film this video.
I'm amazed right now
Isn't that
because it was
pretty?
showing you your destiny.
I know, it's so fascinating. It's
That
really,
probably all happened because you were there.
oh my goodness. So, and then we got to the place where we were going to record. We got to Machu Picchu in a helicopter. So we left our hotel in Cusco, got on a helicopter and flew in through the Andes Mountains. And then we landed. And as soon as I stepped off of the helicopter, everything that I knew about everything took a back seat. And what was left in its place was just this vast, vivid, aware, infinite this. So it's fun talking about that moment because it's this moment. But at that time, I thought that I was person here and the world was over here. In that moment, it was clear that the whole world was only happening in my own heart. And that anyone I would ever meet was my intimate beloved.
Delicious.
It was a sweet moment.
Like when you hit your foot
Right.
on that holy mountain,
Right.
that's when you knew.
Right.
Instantaneous knowing.
Instantaneous. And it was unshakable vastness because we had to film a music video. Just because I had a moment of unshakable vastness didn't mean that we were
Like
going to
chop
stop.
chop.
Right. So the makeup artist is grabbing me and putting on the makeup, and my body is just, tears are just falling out of my eyes because the love was like known to always be here. It was like, oh, this isn't love that's new. This is the love that is. Oh, this isn't the peace that's new. This is the peace that is.
Mm.
And then we had to do all these dances. So we're a Latin boy band. So we are, shaking up the store.
Baby, moving it.
And no matter how much I shook and shimmied or gyrated, I could not shake away stillness. Stillness was like, I am here. And no matter how loud I sung and how many runs I did or how many squalls or growls or silence was like, I am here. Everything was announcing the silence that isn't in the realm of opposites. And it was so powerful to have that experience, to have that moment. And then that led me, in sharing this experience with people, I would have fans that would say, oh, my uncle's a shaman.
They would say that to you.
Yes.
And no one else.
Right, because of the things that I would share with them. They were like, did you have an ayahuasca experience? I was like, I don't know what ayahuasca is.
Oh my goodness.
But then I started sneaking out of hotels while we were in Peru, like at 2 a.m. I'd go and I'd meet in this car in the garage. I had to go in the trunk because we'd have about 1,000 or so girls outside of our hotel room singing our song all night long. Wow. Singing our song. So
that's Muse for you.
So then I'd be in the trunk of this car, driving a couple of blocks so I can get out. And then I'd go to San Pedro ceremony.
Wait a minute, you were inside the trunk of the car.
Right.
Okay, and then what happened?
Just so the beloved fans wouldn't follow us to the San Pedro ceremony that I was going to.
Because you can't be drinking San Pedro and there's like 1,000 girls there.
Right.
It's not a plant medicine experience you want to have.
Totally. And so I'd go to these ceremonies and I'd experience San Pedro and have these profound moments and confirmations, just deepening that initial experience in Machu Picchu, and then had to rush back to the hotel, around 6 a.m. to then get dressed to be ready for the morning shows. So everything would have a sweet little sheen to it.
I was about to say, I know the San Pedro is still working because I haven't ever had San Pedro stop before 8 hours at least.
Okay.
Good 8 hours. Yeah. San Pedro just be hanging out with you like, yes. Right. And I'll just be bawling, I'll see like a mosquito on my hair. Oh, it's so beautiful. It just opens you, your whole self. Just one with the whole universe. Look at that star. Oh. I mean, you're an instant mystic on San Pedro. Instant.
Totally. So I'd be in the dressing room and I'd be so grateful for the outfits I'm wearing. I'm like, thank you for choosing these colors.
It's beautiful.
And then the makeup artist, I so appreciate the work that you do and your masterpiece. Yes, hugging everybody. It's so fun.
Okay.
They would call me the diplomat in the group.
Oh, is that what
I'd be the last one signing everybody's autograph, kissing all the babies.
Oh.
They were like, were you trying to run for president?
When you come on, we got to get on this tour bus. Okay. There's one more that I have to love. There's one more beloved. And
then I'd meet people and I'd say, they'd be like, oh my God. And I'd stop and be like, stop. My name is Ash. And be like, of course I know. I'm like, no, we are meeting right now. I'm not the TV person. I'm not the magazine person. We're meeting right now. And my name is Ashley. What's your name?
In this holy moment where my name and your name are equally the same power.
Yes.
Same everything.
Yes.
It's namaste.
Yes. And they're all like, now must go. I'm like, okay, I'll be right there.
You're namaste. They're like, now must go. Let's roll, people. We got to get this show on the
Yes.
road, right?
Get
Literally.
to the next city, child.
Yes. Wow. And so it continued to progress over the years through, would you say plant medicine was a big teacher in that? Is that why you do plant medicine experiences now?
It is, yeah. It's such a big teacher. I call it my favorite permission slip. I feel
Oh.
like all the powerful medicines, all the powerful modalities are these permission slips, allowing us to, let's say, if we're living in separation, we're living as a fist, we're living in a closed system of intelligence, we can say. And
Mm.
anything that appears where we're willing to release the grip just a little bit, or allow one of the fingers or one of our sacred beliefs to relax, or our sacred identities to relax, and then we can discover, oh wow, freedom is always here. Oh wow, peace is always here. Oh wow, this is who I am, inseparable from that. And so yeah, so plant medicine's one of my favorite permission slips.
And which plant medicines do you usher people through and in?
Right now, for the past 2 years, I've been doing monthly retreats in Boulder, Colorado, and it's primarily ayahuasca.
Wow.
So, yes, ayahuasca, who has been um, such a profound teacher in my experience. So after I left the group, I moved to Peru for 2 years to explore and to go on my own sacred pilgrimage and really take my time with what does this mean and how is this here and how can this be explored or inspired or taught or spoken about. And um, while I was in Peru, I was led to Iquitos, where I spent some time. And then while I was in Iquitos, ayahuasca found me. And
That's what happens. It finds you.
yes,
It finds
yes,
you.
yes, yes. And so that was so beautiful. And I walked into the rainforest with a couple of beloved anthropologists from Amsterdam who had brought me to the experience. A tribe called the Shuar was hosting us. And I was there for close to 2 months, uh, exploring, dying, rebirthing, uh, celebrating, recognizing, oh, okay, yes, yes,
I mean, won't it just peel the layers and the layers and the layers?
yes. Oh my,
And
I literally, the first time I did ayahuasca, there was a moment I looked at my hands and I saw them age and then decay and the flesh fall off the bone and then the bone turned to ash and then a new pair of hands appeared and it just kept happening and happening. And then I saw the forest decay and then turn into a desert and then regrow and giant beautiful trees and the same thing. And then I felt that the planets, that every inhalation was new souls coming to the planet, and every exhalation was souls leaving the planet, and that the earth breathed in souls, and that it wasn't something on a binary sense of in and out, but it was simultaneously happening in an infinite way. And then my mind said, this is some good shit. How do I
everybody needs to know about this. This is some good shit. This is
everybody?
past coke or weed or whatever people were doing in the other experiences.
Yeah.
People, this is it right here.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is some good shit. But
This is
then,
some good shit
because
right
I
here.
had a little bit of a tendency to want to recreate things, which we all do, and which is super sweet and powerful. But then there was a question that appeared at the same time that said, okay, yes, this is some good shit. And you're seeing all kinds of amazing things, feeling all kinds of amazing things, knowing all kinds of amazing things. And what about this moment is the same when you're tying your shoe? What
Mm.
about this moment is the same when you're scratching your leg? What about this moment is the same when you're this, when you're that? And that was a sweet, let's say, an anchoring of recognizing this that's closer than experience, this that's closer than a coming or a going, this that's closer than an in or an out. And that's one of the beautiful things that I love and the medicine that I get to share with beloveds is celebrating Mama Aya, celebrating the spirit of Aya, and also recognizing what is ayahuasca at the feet of.
Mm, that is delicious.
It's
How
so
can
fun.
people find out about that? Oh my goodness, that is delicious because we do retreats all over the world as well, as you know, and we've been to Peru.
No, which I love.
Yes,
I know you're
and
gonna
we've
be in the
been,
barn soon in
we're going to
New
be in the
York.
barn in New
A
York, in
fabulous
Salem,
barn.
New York, a fabulous 6,000 square foot barn because the
Yeah,
fitting post at Max Tucci is
that
fabulous.
makes two
Okay.
piece gorgeous.
Yes,
Yes.
you know. So we're going to be in Salem, Massachusetts, and then we're for the fall equinox, and we're going to do a bonfire, a ritual, fall equinox ritual by the river, apple picking, all of it. And then we have a road trip where we're going over to Salem, Massachusetts, the witchy magical town where we get to go to a seance and really enjoy mediumship and speaking to ones who have
Ah,
crossed over.
such
So
a gift.
those 5 days are going to be from Wednesday to Sundays when we're doing that. And that is
Wow.
beyond.
So
Yeah.
magical and
So I want
delicious.
to know about, yeah, that's all at my website. We'll link everything below this vid. That's at valerielove.com. I want to know that how can people attend? Are your experiences open as we conclude? We so thank you for your time and your love today.
Thank
Are
you,
they
love.
open? Can anyone come? Who comes?
They are open. So people that hear the call, people that are resonating with wanting to experience a little bit of a boost in their life experience, a shift in perception. If they feel like they've only been able to get so far and would like a deeper support, it can be really valuable. But if you go to leafanddivine.com, no, leafanddivine.org, that's the website for the medicine. Ashruiz.com. You could also find links to the medicine there. That's my personal website. Um, and also on Instagram at Illusion Slicer. You can find me, send me an instant direct message, and I could point you in the right direction as well. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. What would you say as a word to everyone? And of course, we're going to show the books. You're the author of this incredible book called Muse. Both you and I are in this grouping of books. I'm so honored to be with these 5 authors,
Me
right?
too. Well, I mean, what a divine appointment. I love it.
Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful. So, what would you say to our audience about any wisdom you'd like to leave the audience about being a muse, about the book series, Common Sentience, any of it? What's your word you want to leave with our peeps?
Well, one thing that I really, really love, I mean, it's really sweet that we have these obvious expressions of the muse, that we have these obvious interpretations of inspiration, that seem to come out of left field, that seem to come, and those are really powerful. A way of inviting those in, a way of getting familiar with that. I just invite people to really be with the way the face of God is appearing right now. It's
Mm.
this moment is the face of God. And when we deny the moment, we're turning our face from God. But if we're willing to just allow ourselves for a couple of seconds, to just allow our body to be here as it is, allow our mind to be here as it is, allow all of our senses, allow all the atoms, it's like every atom in its place, yes, every thought in its place, yes, all the magic in its place, yes, to just really allow themselves to rest in the lap of the universe, to really allow themselves to be held in the bosom of the divine, because that's really right where you are, no matter where you're sitting, no matter where you're lying, no matter where you're standing, the divine, the God, most high, right where you are.
Amen and hallelujah. Let the church say amen.
Hey,
Oh,
yeah.
you're gonna put a song on it? Come on, put
All
some stank on it. Put some
right.
stank on it.
Right where you are. God. Oh,
Come on, Ash. And that is the illusion slicer. I love it, Ash. You can stop by my house anytime. Okay, it's an open
Wait,
door,
I'm gonna
Ash.
visit you. I'm
You
gonna
can
go
stop
visit
by
you
my
in
house
Yucatan, okay?
anytime. And I'm gonna show up at your door real soon in
Please
Colorado. I got the
do.
God folks. I'm gonna show up
Anytime.
at your door
Anytime.
real soon. I freaking love you. I
I
love you.
freaking love you. So happy we get to be connected and so honor you and the life you are, the inspiration you are, the work you are, the divine expression you are. Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Oh, Ash, you're a blessing. All right. God bless. It's a wrap for today. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.
Adios.